Harry, are we ready?
Yes, we are ready.
We are ready. Okay, let's get started. Introduce myself. So, hello everyone. My name is Kimberly Robinson. I am the owner and founder of NScope Technologies. I have been in technology. I've been working in the technology field for, let's say, about 26 years now. Started off as a software engineer at Cisco Systems, and now I currently have my own technology firm. Some of my largest clients are Cisco, Southwest Airlines, Verizon, AT&T, just to name a few. And so today, we're going to talk about how do you become a Scrum Master? What's important what do you need to become a Scrum Master? What's important? What are the skills that are required for this role? And of course, when we talk about Scrum Master, of course, you need to know something about Agile. Agile is a framework that we use in this technology space. It's now being used in the business space as well. So I'm going to walk you through what a day in life, what it takes to be a Scrum Master. A lot of you may say, wait a minute, what is that? I don't know what it is. I don't have any technology skills. This may go over my head. I just want to let you guys know that we're going to look at skill set today. We're going to look at skill set. And you'll look at some skills and characteristics that you may be familiar to you. Okay, so I am going to share my screen. It's not a fancy presentation, not too fancy. Didn't want to. Okay, here we are. What does it mean to be a Scrum Master? Becoming a Scrum Master. What are some of the skills? How do we develop those skills into becoming a Scrum Master? What is the pay scale for a Scrum Master? What are some of the certifications that are required or that you can get in order to become a Scrum Master? Okay, so this is very simple. Didn't want to do anything too over the top, just wanted to keep it simple and something that we can all understand. Okay, so when we talk about a Scrum Master, what are some of the top Scrum Master skills? What are some of the top skill sets? Having an agile mindset, right? And you're saying to yourself, but I don't know what agile is. Well, just think about the word agility. What does it mean to be agile, right? You want to be flexible. You want to be flexible. You want to be able to, help others be flexible. So you want to have a change mindset versus a fixed mindset, right? Because when we talk about Agile, that is a framework, once again, that we use in technology. It's also now being used in the business world as well. So Agile is a framework that allows companies to get their products to market faster, right? So before, when we were in technology, it would take us years to get technology out the door. And by the time we got it out the door, it was no longer needed, right? It was time to put the product on the shelf because something new was out. So Agile allows companies to get their products to market faster than their competitors, and it allows them to respond to the market changes. Okay, so we want you to have an agile mindset. Things are always changing, right? So we want you to have we want you to be able to change your mindset and help others change theirs as well. Soft skills. You must have soft skills. You must be able to communicate with others. You must be able to listen to others. What are they trying to tell you? What is it that they're not saying? Okay. Technical skills. Hey, I'm not in the technical field. I don't know anything about tech. Well, when we talk about technical skills, as far as the Scrum Master, you need to understand the terms, the agile terms, right? So you can work with your teams. Because a Scrum Master, you are essentially a servant leader. You will lead your teams. Okay? To be a Scrum Master, you must have good decision-making skills, problem-solving skills, conflict resolution. In Agile, we welcome conflict. Conflict is big, right? We know that conflict is happening every day, right? So there's going to be, you're going to have a new team. They're not getting along, but you have a bunch of smart people on the team. How do you get them to produce? You help them to resolve their conflict, right? You help them to, and there's different techniques that you'll learn as a Scrum Master to help you with your teams, to grow your teams, to grow and to have high performing teams. Emotional intelligence. Why do I have to have emotional intelligence as a Scrum Master? Why? Because everyone's coming to you. Your team is looking for you to lead them, to coach them, and to facilitate. You have to be able to read the room, understand your team. When there's something that's happening, you have to have empathy as a Scrum Master, right? So you have to have some emotional intelligence to help your team members get over that hump. You have to have empathy. Good virtual collaboration skills, right? So, of course, a lot of us are in a virtual world now. We're working remotely. You have to know how to work in a remote environment, right? You have to have good collaboration skills, right? Some people think that email is the best way in a virtual environment. I can tell you now, it's the worst. No one reads email in a virtual environment. Please use your office communication tools such as Teams, such as Cisco. There's plenty of tools that are out there, but you should always use those virtual tools to allow your teams to be successful. Last but not least, innovative. As a Scrum Master, you must be innovative. You need to know when to pivot. You need to know when to bring exciting things to the team, right? You need to know when to bring exciting things to the team. So I'm going to stop there. So I talked about the top Scrum Master skills, but let's talk about what is a Scrum Master? What's the purpose? Where does a Scrum Master sit in all of this, right? So within an Agile team, you have a Scrum Master, you have a product owner, and then you have the team who is doing the work. The Scrum Master is the servant leader. They lead the team. How do they lead the team? They lead the team by removing impediments, by making sure that the Agile ceremonies are scheduled, making sure they're happening, making sure that they are effective. They're retrospecting. They're making sure there's relentless improvement throughout their journey, their Agile journey, right? They're making certain that the team is meeting their commitments and they're actually delivering. Developing a Scrum Master. So we talked about the top Scrum Master skills. Now, how do you take those things and you develop a Scrum Master from that? Facilitation, leader, coach. Whenever you think about a Scrum Master, hey, I want to be a Scrum Master, you have to make sure that if it's not natural, get whatever training you need to help you to be a good facilitator, a great leader, and an amazing coach. You have to be self-organizing. You have to have self-organizing skills. Remove impediments quickly, because you want to remove any issues that may arise throughout the team. You want to help them to remove those impediments quickly. Okay? Act in accordance with Agile principles. Within Agile, there are there are 12 principles. You want to make certain that your teams are adhering to those agile principles, right? As they're working. Because remember, in agile, we iterate. That's another thing. In agile, how do we get our products to market quickly? We iterate. We deliver a small amount of work within a 2-week cycle. Every 2 weeks, we're delivering something to our customers. It may not be the full product, but it will be a working solution, a small piece of the puzzle. Okay, as a Scrum Master, we set direction for our Scrum team. We set direction for your Scrum team, right? Knowing when to pivot or persevere. Should we stop what we're doing or should we keep going? Are we on the right track? Are we delivering what we said we're going to deliver, and are we delivering it with quality? Now, when you think about a Scrum Master, a lot of people, first thing they think about, oh, the money. Yes, Scrum Masters do make a nice chunk of change, I will say. So when you think about an entry-level Scrum Master, this is Scrum Master with all of these skills, right? And one of these certifications to the right, you can have a CSM, which is a Scrum Master certification. You can have a safe Scrum Master certification, or you can have a professional Scrum Master certification. Scrum Master can start off at 108. Senior Scrum Master, this is mid-level Scrum Master, 120. And then you can have like your master Scrum Master, like the Scrum Master of all Scrum Masters, a Scrum Master who is ready to become a coach. They would make an average of 128 and above. Now, please know I got this information from Glassdoor, right? I pulled this information from Glassdoor. What I can tell you on a personal level is that I've been a Scrum Master. I was a Scrum Master for many years. I now act as a coach, as an agile enterprise coach. So I go into the teams and I coach them on agile and how to be more agile and how to be flexible, right? Scrum Masters, this is what you will get. Now, can you walk out of here tomorrow and go take a certification and say, yep, I'm ready to make $108? No, there's still some work that you have to do. You first take a look at these skills to the left. You look at the skills to the right. Developing a Scrum Master, you think about, which one of these skills do I currently have? What are the things that I do well? You take a look at those things. Then you take a look at the things that you're not necessarily doing well, right? And you expound upon them. You get the training. You find more training. There's a lot of free training out there, and I'm sure Hari's going to talk more about that. But you get whatever training you need. So it's not just about the Scrum Master role itself. It's more so you have to know how to facilitate. You have to know how to lead your team. When I say an agile team is typically 5 to 12 people on a team. So it's 5 to 12 people, meaning that these are the people who are doing the work, the executors, right? You're going to work with engineers, you're going to work with developers, you're going to have some kind of technical aptitude. Do you have to come from the technical world? No, you don't. But if you want to be a Scrum Master, it's in your best interest to learn what you can, learn the methodologies, right? Don't just learn Agile, learn where it came from. How did we get here? How did it evolve? Okay. And so there's facilitation courses that you can take. There's coaching courses you can take. When you take your coaching courses, things that you would have to think about is the psychological aspect of coaching and people. How do people think? How do they react? You should always do some type of Myers-Briggs type of test, right? With your team. You can do an activity with your team to see where people's strengths and opportunities lie. That helps you guide and coach your team. Remember, the loudest person in the room is not always the smartest person. It's typically the most quiet person that has a lot of information, but the loudest person is speaking over them and they're not allowed to shine. You, as the coach, it's up to you to help bring out the best in your team members. Why do we call you a servant leader? You are a servant leader because you're leading the team, but you don't necessarily, you're not their manager, right? You're leading with no authority, right? You don't manage them. You help them on a day-to-day basis, right? You help them facilitate, lead, and coach. Those are your key factors on being a Scrum Master. And let's see. Oh, so we talked about the Scrum Master, the basic Scrum Master 108, Senior Scrum Master, and then you have your Scrum Master of all Scrum Masters. What you need to understand, what you'll see out there when you go and look and say, hey, how do I become a Senior Scrum Master? And it'll say, you'll have things where it says, well, it's based on years. That's not always the case. It's not always based on how many years you've been doing it, how many years you've been working in Agile. It's really what you know and how quickly you can get up to speed, right? There's a lot of videos out there. You can go and you can watch videos. You can go to scrumalliance.org. You can go to scaledagile.com. You can so you can look at different frameworks within Agile to help you better understand that Scrum Master role. Okay, so that's all I have. Oh, I have one other thing really quick. I just want you guys to see. So when you look at the Scrum Master role, right? As you can see, the Scrum Master is sitting here, right? With the bullhorn. Hey, what are we doing? Right? Your Scrum Master is your champion. They encourage, they reflect, they reward. You want to always reward your team. Small rewards go a long way. Protect your team, learn and share, and facilitate. Okay. These are some additional qualities and characteristics of a Scrum Master. Now, are there any questions?
Kimberly, what would be the first step that a person would take if we don't know anything about technology, and how we would become a senior Scrum Master like yourself or coach?
Right. So the first step, uh-oh, you may want to mute your phone. There's an echo. Thank you. So the first step that you would take is attending a session like this, right? Attending a session like this, kind of understanding like, your interest is now peaked. Now that we've captured you, we've captured your interest. The next step is, reaching out to someone like myself. I'm an Agile coach. You can reach out to Hari. You reach out to the experts in the field. And what we can do is we can, guide you in the right direction. Once again, we'll do a gap analysis, right? We'll say, or skills analysis. Where do you stand now? Where do you want to be? And so, for instance, you said, okay, I want to become a senior Scrum Master, but I don't know anything about technology. The next thing is we would create a degree pathway for you, or some kind of pathway to kind of help you get up to speed on where you need to be. From there, once you kind of create a plan, you get with an expert, you create a plan, and then you need to take one of those certification classes, right? But first, learn about Agile. Within that plan, you need to learn about Agile. You need to understand the whys. Well, why does Agile exist, right? Why do we need to use it? Why are companies using it? How does it benefit me? How does it benefit companies? You need to understand those things. You need to have a deep understanding. Then you go and you get your CSM, or you can go the safe route, depending on which framework you want to study in. Because remember, in Agile, there's multiple frameworks now, right? So pure Agile, you go CSM route. So you get your SAFe certification, or you get your Scrum Master certification, your certified Scrum Master, your CSM. And then once you take the class, you get back with the expert to help you to hold you accountable to that degree pathway. After you take the class, you need to sit with people who are Scrum Masters. You need to watch how it all comes together. How does this encourage, facilitate? How does this all come together? So you need to sit with someone who's a Scrum Master. You need to watch them do it. You need to watch them do their planning. Sit with them during their ceremonies. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Who wants to
Kimberly,
become a Scrum Master?
Kimberly, like, what do you suggest somebody who is like, not having a, let's say, professional degree, right? Like a bachelor's degree, like, from a college. What do you suggest? Like, what are some tips and tricks, like, you provide for people like that in order to gain this certification and get a job as a Scrum Master?
Okay, great question. So for someone who does not have a bachelor's degree, or you don't have a degree in technology, you would pretty much take the same pathway, right? Because remember, in technology, it's not always about having a degree. You would also, I would suggest taking the same pathway, getting with the experts, creating a career pathway for you, right? What we call a degreed pathway. We would create a degreed pathway for you the same as we would with someone who have a degree. So the path would be pretty, the way of getting there, or the process would be the same, right? Now, everyone's pathway will be different based on the skills and based on, the characteristics, based on your years of, of just work experience. So it's a combination of things. So everyone's pathway will be different, but the process on helping them become a Scrum Master is the same. Working with an expert, getting a certification, going back to that expert, and allowing them to pair you with people who are already in the field. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Kimberly.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Someone came off mute. Is there anyone else? Who wants to become a Scrum Master?
This was good information, Kimberly. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Well, if there aren't any other questions, Hari, I will hand it over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Kimberly. It was a really nice, informative session. There are a lot of folks out there who want to get into technology, and definitely Scrum Master, Agile Coach, like, is the way to go as a starter to get entry level jobs. And
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. And just before I go, Hari, just want to once again, thanks everyone for joining. My name is Kimberly Robinson. Once again, I am the owner and founder of NScope Technologies, and this is where we transform your career into the Scrum Master in the Agile space. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. Hari, I'll hand it over to you.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Kimberly. So from here, like, let me share my screen. Okay, so here we go. So so we are Deinclusive. I would like to, like, just give an introduction of, like, who we are and what we do. and we will take it from there. So DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusiveness, and we stand for equal opportunity for everyone, despite their gender, race, and color. We are trying to bridge the gap that basically exists in this world, and which is basically creating the social stigma. And we all know that great America was formed by people who worked really hard and became the pillars of true democracy. And we carry the same legacy of America and have a mission that bestows equal working opportunity for every individual. So we about our company. So de-inclusive, we are trying to bridge the gap between the employers and the diverse talent. So basically what we are doing is we will be connecting with the potential employers who are in need of talent and who want to basically hire entry level folks pretty much, because that is the low hanging fruit for anybody to get onto. Basically one thing is the diverse talent, they do not have access to technology education. So that is where we are coming in. We want to educate diverse talent in the field of technology, like DevOps, data analysis, data science, Scrum Master, Agile Coach, business analysis, quality analysis. So these are some of the tools, some of the areas that we wanted to basically provide training, and then basically get them in touch with the employers who are hiring in these particular roles. So D-Inclusive is a platform which works in the best interest of socially and economically disadvantaged individuals and communities. And also we are diverse communities in landing their dream jobs. Basically we are only here for diverse community. That doesn't mean we are not helping any other communities. Everybody is welcome, but our goal is to help as many diverse talent people as possible. So coming to our mission, De-Inclusive started as an alternative to staffing consultancy. As a founder, I have about 15 years of experience in staffing, and pretty much so far what I have done is help the experienced developers, experienced folks in technology to help jobs, to help consulting jobs pretty much. But right now ours are that is where we got the idea of what if we want to pivot a bit and then help starting the diverse communities. And our service now supports a variety of communities like people of color, LGBTQA plus, veterans, women, because such communities are often neglected and really struggle a lot to land a good job, and also retain their whatever. If they get into a job, they don't even feel welcome, feel home in the jobs also. So that is also another thing that we are working on. How do you make yourself comfortable in this new landscape, new technology landscape? Also we work very consistently for them by not only adding them to aiding them with jobs, but also grooming them, their personality, and building unshakable confidence in their attitude. Basically soft skills, personality skills, those are the skills also we are working on. We would like to come up with a curriculum and then basically provide them with training, so that wherever they land a job, they would be having good confidence to carry it forward. Our motto is to let people get jobs anywhere in the world through our virtual events without any barriers. So the first goal of our company is to basically have these virtual events with the employers, whoever are having jobs, especially within United States to start with. But we would like to enter into United Kingdom, Australia, wherever these particular gaps exist. Our vision. So we envision about 100,000 people from diverse communities get jobs within the next 10 years. I know this is a huge task for us, getting 10,000 people jobs in 1 year is really, really, really difficult. But we would like to foster partnerships with different Afro-American, Latin, LGBTQ, IA plus veterans, women in technology, etc. So that once we foster these partnerships, we would be able to execute on our vision, which is basically getting 100,000 jobs for all these diverse folks. So our services, we help diverse job seekers grab an opportunity, and also to directly interact with employers via virtual events again, and based on their skill set, different employers will be hiring them. And we connect and help diverse talent to make informed decisions in navigating their job search and career paths to maximize their career potential. Not everybody is suitable for business analyst jobs. Some are suitable for business analyst, some are suitable for front end roles, some are suitable for UI UX design roles. So it all comes down to talking to one-on-one, and then basically taking on which career is suitable for that particular person. And our team here, I think you all know me, my name is Hari Pulijala, and I am the CEO founder of Deinclusive. I have about 15 plus years of experience in information technology as a Java programmer, as a consultant, as a staffing expert. And we Mr. Tarun Bhagat today, he is traveling. He's our co-founder. He's a YouTuber from India. He has good experience in sales, marketing, and very well connected in the IT sector in India as a career coach. And we just had a speaker, Kimberly Robinson, who spoke on length about how to become a Scrum Master, various tips and tricks, and how to reach a better pay in terms of getting a job in as a Scrum Master. And if you want to connect, you can reach us at support@deinclusive.com, or you can use one of the forms in our website, and that is where you can pretty much fill a form. We will be able to get back to you, or you can call us on the number or text us on the number 678-965-0839. Thank you, and I will be here if you have any questions. Otherwise, we will wrap up today's session.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Let's wrap up the session, and I will basically put the mail ID again in the chat. Please take the mail ID, and you can basically send us an email with different courses that you want to learn from ours, or different topics that you want to hear from our speakers, and we will get back to you every we are planning to launch events every 15 days, but that frequency can be even reduced to 1 week based on the demand, or we can go to one event per 2 weeks. Thank you all, and have a nice evening.
Thanks, Hari, and thanks everyone for attending. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.